Hello, everybody watching this week. This is going to be our week 3 of row recap. This week, I'm hosting again. It's Razor, and I've got with me Cloud or Alucard, manager of AKM Blades, Jeff, the main tank for GigaChads,
Hello.
and I have Water, the captain of Smilers.
What's up?
So this week we're going to be going through a little bit different. We're going to all 4 host the whole time through. I'm going to go through all the changes to the teams because a lot of teams have a lot of changes this week. Then we'll go through and do reviewing last week's games and predicting next week's games. So let's go ahead and move on to those team changes now.
So the roster changes for AKM Blades, we ended up dropping Volpixie. We are currently looking for another player. For another slot. We dropped Volpixie because I ended up drafting too many main supports because I thought we were going to run goats. I drafted too many support players, but I do think that Volpixie is still a good player, and with some time and some coaching, I feel like Volpixie can actually be one of the better players in this league. So yeah.
Crunch Nuggets were the most active this week, basically getting a full new team. They released Clovix, Joe Reza, Lil Block, Bard, and Grape Cake. But before they released Grape Cake, they also have picked him up this week, along with Destined MP, Jagger, Denny, Odenai, and Oace. I believe Grape Cake was picked up and released just before and after the game. He's basically a ringer for them. I know Joe Reza was released because of a wrist injury. Little Block and Bard were released for inactivity. I think Clovix was released due to personal issues. The pickups, I don't know much about Jaeger and Denai, but Oace, I know is a talented DPS player from League Zero, plays a double cap there. He's also competent on main tank, a few other roles. And Destin MP used to be on my team, GigaChads, but he moved over to Crunchy Nuggets, and I think he's their new captain. Jeff, do you want to take us through GigaChads changes?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, we didn't really pick up anyone, but we released Destined, mostly because he was just on the bench, and we felt bad, because we knew he was a good player, so we let him free. Some birds are just too beautiful to be locked up in a cage.
Water, what did Smilers do?
Smilers picked up Clovix as DPS because he's like Masters or something.
Reddit Lucio's released Conmen, Genosino, Copydag, and Forful, but they picked up Walnuts and Zip. Looks like they're going for like a full roster change because they have Vendanian in charge as manager now. The whole system's changing under Reddit Lucio's, so it looks like they're getting out old players and bringing in new ones. Currently, they are 0-2. Map thresholds with -6, so changes need to be made, and it looks like they're doing them there. The same thing's going on with Bench Gang. They released Lil Soggy for inactivity, and the Walnuts, I'm not sure why he was released, maybe personal issues, maybe because he wasn't fitting into the team, but he's released and he went and got picked up by Reddit Lucios. Bench Gang picked up Good at Games, honestly someone I've never heard of before. Do you guys know anything about them?
He's main tank.
Yeah, so overall, we kind of see Reddit Lucios and Crunch Nuggets going for big roster changes, other teams kind of just releasing 1 or 2 players, changing up slightly, but we'll see how it impacts going into next week. So we're going to move on to reviewing last week's games.
Alright, so for the GigaChads v Scrim Gods game, it ended up 3-1 in favor of GigaChads. Lijiang Tower was a pretty clean 2-0. Hanamura, a little bit to be desired from both teams. I mean, you know, GigaChads got 2 points and Scrim Gods got the first point, but didn't end up capping the second point in a pretty long 5-minute hold. Eichenwald was pretty close. The team decided to switch up comps. Well, Scrim Gods did, kind of threw GigaChads off, taking the map off them, and then Rialto, they rallied, and GigaChads won that 3-2.
Overall, I want to say it was a lot less close than people were predicting before the match.
The first 2 matches were a bit of a, I wouldn't say roll, but they weren't as close as the second half. Like Eichenwald was a pretty good match. I mean, our what was it, like 4th round bunker comp thing that we'd run was really strange. You know, we were kind of experimenting when we shouldn't have, but you know, what can you do? And then Rialto, we kind of figured out what was working against their roster, and we just kind of used that, and they didn't really switch off of it.
So this is the second week in a row the GigaChads have lost the 3rd map. Any reason for that in particular?
I think we just can't 4-0. I don't think our team is able to. I have no idea why we lose 3rd map. I think it's because our Kings is just a lot better than our Eichenwald. You know, we're learning Eichenwald more now, so
want to practice
we didn't practice it as much as we should have beforehand. And then Ranter decided to pull a bit of a scumbag move, not gonna lie. And because there was an agreement beforehand, but then Ranter realized that, oh shit, I'm about to get 4-0 swept, might as well just throw him off, and then picked Eichenwald. I'm sorry, but I just, you know, that really ticks me off. That really grinds my gears.
For those who didn't know, the agreement is between me and Renter. We agreed what 4 maps to play beforehand, and after we rolled the first 2, we switched it up. But we're going to go and move on now to the Bench Gang Crunch Nuggets game, the only 4 of the week, and went to Crunch Nuggets. A lot of people are predicting them to win it by 1 or 2 maps, but I don't think anyone predicted it last week to be a 4-0. First 3 maps were not even close. Volskaya, Bench King put up a bit of a fight, but in the end, McCree was just too good at Crunchy Nuggets. He carried the team quite hard. The new players really came in. Grape Cake did decent job on main tank. Destin MP did good with rebuilding the team in like the 3 hours he had. Crunchy Nuggets overall did really well. The first game of their new roster, and I can't give you much of an in-depth look, so we don't really have a Crunchy Nuggets representative here today. It looks good for their future. Everyone was tainting them to be like one of the bad teams going in, but currently they're second in Division 8 above Scrim Gods. They're 1-1 with a +3 map differential, and you can't argue with the results. Something is working at Crunchy Nuggets, and no one knows why.
Now, I am going to say the AKM Blades versus Red Lucio's game. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit closer than what the score really entails. Like, Eichenwald was pretty close. There's people out there saying that they were like 2 seconds off of winning, but it's okay. I really do think, though, that still, if you lose a map to AKM Blades Goats, that ain't it, Chief. And I think that's why they decided to switch around the roster. I feel like Busan, really solid play from AKM because they really do have the control point type maps down. I just think that they need to work a little bit more on payload stuff because they end up pushing too far because they forget that it's not control, and then that like they always think that the progress is going even if they leave the point. So they just need to work on that a little bit more. Just learn how to stay on payload, pick and choose fights, play a little bit more passive, but not to the point where teams can rest easy. And I really feel like AKM will be able to pull off a 4-0 at some point during the season.
Okay, we'll move on quickly to Smilers versus Go Again. Walter, do you want to take it away?
Okay, this was a really confusing match because every single map had a different roster for Go Again. They played with ringers the whole time, except for like the last map. On Lijiang, we shouldn't have won the first map, but they C9 pretty hard, so we got kind of lucky on that one. Hanamura, pretty decisive in our favor. We held them on second point, and we had a pretty decent time bank. Eichenwald, I honestly don't remember, but we won it. So, and then Rialto, they actually ended up beating us. This is when they got like more people from their actual roster, and we just weren't ready for like the change in play style, which I think is why we lost. And also, we really haven't practiced Rialto enough. I'd also like to note that there probably won't be a lot of footage from our game because the stream was pretty scuffed. There were 2 instances where we lost 30 seconds because like the streamers wouldn't pause. The Discord server went down during Hanamura, and so we were all asking for a pause, and we couldn't like, talk to each other, but it never came out.
We did notice there was some technical difficulties in that match.
It was quite the scuffage.
I haven't watched the footage back, but I heard
You
that-
can't watch it. It's more of a slideshow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna fully move on now, actually this time, to next week's games. So we're gonna go through them game by game, and we'll do our predictions. Everyone will give their prediction and their reasons for it. The first game I'm gonna go through is Giga Chads versus Crunchy Nuggets.
4-0. Crunchy Nuggets.
To Crunchy Nuggets.
Bro.
I am going to say that it is going to be 3-1 Giga Chads because they're going to lose Eichenwald.
I think it'll be a 3-1 just because, like, for some reason, like, our team just never wins map 3. And we're just somehow gonna lose it. It's gonna be like a bunch of series of just really dumb plays. That's all it's gonna be.
I'm also gonna say it's gonna be 3-1 to Giga Chads. Crunchy Nuggets are improving a lot, but just not enough.
I think that they did make good roster changes, but it's also... Roster changes are good for the week after, because, you know, everyone's still getting used to each other.
Yeah.
They have
So
a new
we'll
roster, they have to gel together. It's gonna be a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
Especially since they lost the carry, Lil Block. It's gonna be a tough one for them. Okay.
Oh, right,
So
yeah.
we're gonna go ahead and move on now to the AKM versus Smilers game. We have representatives from both teams here. We'll start with Water. What do you think the score is gonna be?
I think Smilers are gonna win 3-1 against AKM. I think AKM is gonna win whichever control or cough, whichever one it's called.
Cloud,
Yeah.
what do you think about it?
I think that is going to be 3-2, and honestly, I think it can go either way. But speaking realistically here, I'm gonna say Smilers. I think AKM is going to win again, control point, and I think they're also gonna win 2 CP.
This is the first time anyone's predicted against their team. Wow. But yeah, I agree. I think it'll be 3-2 to Smilers. I think AKM will take the cough map, the assault map, no, control map. and I think they'll also take Assault. So I think they'll take Koth and 2 CP, but lose the other 3 maps. Jeff, what do you think about it?
I think it'll be actually quite closer, just because of the comps that both teams run. Like Smilers is generally a goats team. Like they're not 100% goats, but generally they are. So I think that could work in AKM Blades' favor, right? Like, cause they're generally a DPS team. And when
Yeah,
they're
I
on
feel like
goats,
that's
it's
the win
kinda,
condition.
it's kind of like your goats is kind of smelly, my guy. No offense.
I'm
but...
not gonna lie, dude. It kind of is.
So, like, if you guys just play your comps that you're comfortable with and play the heroes to your strengths, I think you guys could easily take off 2 maps. So I think it could go to 5.
So Reddit Losers versus Go Again. This game we have no representatives from it, but I think it's kind of general consensus that Go Again will win this one. At least for me, I think it'll be a 3-1, maybe even a 4 from Go Again.
Can I use this time to gloat how I just solved the face of a Rubik's Cube? I just want to.
Okay.
Thank you for that, man. I appreciate it.
So fucking scuffed. Okay, Alucard. What do you think about the score?
Alright. Unpopular opinion. 3-2 Reddit Lucius.
Versus
Why do you
Go
think that?
Again?
Why do I think that, man? I'm just feeling the reverse sweep, I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling like it's gonna go 2-0, then Reddit Lucios is just gonna give, like, their 2 new players the nano boost, and they're just gonna get in there, and they're just gonna throw Go Again off, and they're gonna pull off the reverse sweep. I'm just feeling it, dude.
From personal experience against Reddit Lucios, I haven't played their new roster, but they didn't seem like the strongest team. I feel like they will take a map though against Go Again, maybe 2, but I'm guessing it's gonna be 3-1 Go Again.
The new roster, I personally scrimmed them, so I'll do some scrim leaks here. They took a map off GigaChads, we played a 5-map series. GigaChads ended up winning at 4-1, but Reddit Lucios do look a lot stronger with their new roster and with their new management.
I think both of these teams have kind of been pretty stinky when they show up in games. Like I think when it comes to scrims, you know, they're all right, but like I don't know, games they don't really perform as well as I think they could have. So we'll see. It's just kind of like, you know, 2 stinky pennies and which one's less stinky, you know what I mean? 3-2, fucking Go Again.
Okay, and our final map of the week, which is between Bench Gang versus Scrim Gods. I'm calling a 4-0 for Bench Gang here.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think it's gonna be 4-0.
I think it is a general consensus that Bench King is gonna 4-0 this one.
I think it depends on who they run for main tank.
I think
Like on Scrum God's side.
if Scrim Gods put a Deefy in, 4-0 Bench King.
Just to clear it up, we're all saying 4-0 to Bench Gang?
Yes.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
Eggdog and a Deefy do indeed play, it is game over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be not even worth watching. It'll be a clean sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
might
bro.
as well get Pokemon to stream that one.
I don't think Pokemon will be streaming again.
Aw, come on, bro.
I'm sorry, but it does you do require full motion pitch in the stream, and that was not full motion
Bro,
pitch.
but like,
So we kind of went through the roster changes, score predictions, and what happened last week. Jeff kind of flamed some streamers, Water bigged himself up, and Alucard predicted against his own team, which is a bit of a surprise. Do you have any final comments before we end this episode?
Yeah, your mic makes background noise every time you talk.
also, what is your profile picture? Explain. I don't even understand what our team's logo is. No one's told me what it
For
is.
those of you who are a bit dumb, the GigaChad's logo is the country of Chad with the Chad flag over it, with a pair of sunglasses and bicep. We're gonna go ahead and end it right here. Have fun editing this, Water, and we'll see you guys next week.
Love you guys.
Yo, I got a blizzard.